Dear one, if this letter has found you, I imagine your heart is heavy right now. Grief has a way of wrapping itself around us, making the world feel smaller and darker. I wish I could sit beside you, hold your hand, and let you rest your head on my shoulder while the tears come. Since I can't do that, let this letter be a comfort to you, a little light in the dark. You see, I know grief. I've walked its path and felt its weight. Grandpa Tom and I have sat together through the loss of dear friends, family, and dreams that didn't come to pass. Each loss left its mark, but each one also taught us something about love, resilience, and healing. So let me share a few thoughts with you, dear one, from my heart to yours. I hope these words bring you comfort and strength as you navigate this difficult time. Lesson 1. Grief is love's shadow. First, let me tell you this. You grieve because you have loved deeply. Grief is the shadow cast by love, and while it hurts, it's a testament to the beauty of the connection you shared with the person, dream, or life you've lost. When my best friend Helen passed away, I thought my heart would never stop aching. We had been through so much together, laughs, tears, and years of memories. Her absence was like a hole in the fabric of my life. But as the days went on, I realized something important. The pain of losing her was a reflection of how deeply I had loved her. So allow yourself to grieve, dear one. Don't rush it or push it aside. Your grief is valid, and it's part of the healing process. Lesson 2. You don't have to be strong all the time. There's a saying people like to use, be strong. While it's meant to be encouraging, it can feel like pressure, can't it? Let me tell you something I wish more people understood. You don't have to be strong all the time. When Tom and I lost our first baby, a little boy we named James, I thought I had to keep it together. I didn't want anyone to see me cry or feel like a burden to those around me. But one day, Tom took my hands in his and said, "Suzie, let it out. We don't have to carry this alone." So I cried. Oh, did I cry? And do you know what? Letting those emotions out was the first step toward healing. If you need to cry, scream, or sit in silence, give yourself permission to do so. Grieving is not a weakness. It's a brave acknowledgement of your pain. Lesson 3. Small steps forward. When you're grieving, even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming. The world keeps moving, but you feel stuck. That's okay. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens one small step at a time. When Tom lost his father, he spent weeks just sitting on the porch, staring at the trees. One day, I handed him a hammer and said, "Come help me fix the fence." He didn't say much, but he got up and joined me. Little by little, that simple act of building something helped him begin to move forward. So, dear one, take it one step at a time. Maybe today that step is getting out of bed. Tomorrow it might be making a meal or taking a walk. Celebrate those small victories. They're signs of progress, even when it feels slow. Lesson 4. Hold on to the memories. Grief can make us afraid to remember, but memories are a precious gift. They're a way to keep the ones we've lost close to our hearts. When my sister Margaret passed, I used to avoid looking at old photos or thinking about the times we'd shared. It was too painful. But one day, Tom sat me down and said, Suzie, those memories are her way of staying with you." He was right. I started keeping a journal where I wrote down all the little things I remembered about her. Her laugh, the way she made the best apple pie, and the time she taught me to dance in the kitchen. You might try something similar. Write, draw, or talk about your memories. They're a way to honor the love you've shared. Lesson 5. Lean on others. Grief can feel isolating, but you don't have to go through it alone. Let others be there for you, whether it's family, friends, or a support group. After we lost James, a neighbor named Betty started bringing over casseroles and sitting with me in the evenings. She didn't say much. She just sat there knitting or sipping tea. Her quiet presence was a comfort I didn't even know I needed. If someone offers to help, let them. And if you feel alone, reach out. There's strength in letting others carry some of the weight with you. Lesson 6. Find a purpose in the pain. This might sound strange, but sometimes grief can lead us to a deeper sense of purpose. When Tom and I finally healed from losing James, we decided to volunteer at a local shelter for children. Helping those kids filled a part of our hearts we thought would always be empty. You don't have to rush this, but when the time feels right, consider how you might turn your pain into something meaningful. It could be as simple as planting a garden in memory of a loved one, or helping someone who's going through a similar struggle. Lesson 7. Time is a gentle healer. I know this isn't what you want to hear right now, but it's the truth. Healing takes time. It's not a straight line, and there will be days when the pain feels just as fresh as the day it began. But over time, those days will become fewer and farther between. When we lost our second baby, a little girl named Lily, I thought I would never smile again. But slowly the days grew brighter. I started to notice the beauty in the world again, the sound of birds singing, the warmth of the sun on my face. Be patient with yourself, dear one. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to carry the loss in a way that doesn't overshadow the joy in your life. A story of hope. Let me tell you about a man named Peter. He was a friend of Tom's who lost everything: his wife, his job, and his home, all in the span of a year. Peter was shattered, but he didn't give up. He started by taking a job at a small bookstore, a place he had always loved. Slowly, he began to rebuild his life. He made new friends, found joy in simple things, and eventually started a non-profit to help others who were struggling. Peter once told me, "Grief tried to take everything from me, but it couldn't take my hope." Final thoughts. Love will carry you. Dear one, grief is a heavy burden, but love is stronger. The love you've shared, the love you still carry in your heart, that love is what will see you through. Take it one day at a time. Be gentle with yourself. And remember, you are not alone. Tom and I are rooting for you. And so is every person who has ever walked the path of grief and found their way back to hope. With all my love, Grandma Suzie. P.S. Grandpa Tom says, when life feels like it's too much, sit down with a cup of tea and remember, even the hardest winters end and spring always comes. Thank you, my dears, for spending this time with me. Remember, life's journey is better when we walk it together. If these stories and reflections warmed your heart, be sure to subscribe and join me for more wisdom, comfort, and a little sprinkle of joy. Together, let's keep growing one story at a time. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and remember, you're never alone. Grandma loves you,